Hello. Hi. Are you enjoying the show? Great. This is very good. I see a lot of smiles here. That's very important. We need to smile. We need to move and need to enjoy what you are doing now. It's my pleasure to be here. And according to the United Nations, we have now more than 80 billion people in our planet. And in 2040, is going to be more 1,400,000,000 people. So we are talking about almost, let's say, 9,500,000,000 people in the planet in more 20 years, let's say. So this is a challenge because we need to have conditions for the people to live, to grow, to educate. And because of that, we face challenges. One of the challenges today that everybody is talking is about the climate, because we are feeling that something is happening different. And, but there are other things. For example, today to come here took 1.5 hours in traffic for me to come here. So we have challenges in terms of mobility. We have also in terms of health, because we pass for different situations worldwide. And to do this, in terms of when we talk about cities, that's my specialty. I'm an urban planner and architect. We needed to rethink what we are doing and how we are doing and the way that we are living, okay? So what's happened is you have an industry. This industry is the industry of oil, for example. Then you need to produce cars. And because you have cars, you need to have roads, bridges, and more and more and more. What's happened that this brings heat to the planet. When you have concrete, asphalt, glass, you bring heat. Beside of that, you have problems because, for example, here in Miami-Dade, 1 month ago, the commissioners decided to approve new development in the Everglades, pick up a part of the Everglades. And the Everglades is very important for us because our water comes from the Everglades. And then you have a challenge, but then you have politicians. That's why we need to engage people, empower citizens to participate in the decision process. We need to be more active to make things happen. And so we need to redesign, we need to reuse, we need to do different things. When we talk about a sustainable city, a resilient city, what's happened here in Miami, Miami downtown or Miami-Dade County? Always the people think about the resilience. When you read in the media, resilience. When you go to the department, it's Chief Resilience Officer, okay? But I know as an architect that to be resilient, first you need to plan and build sustainable. If you don't plan and build sustainable, it's not going to be resilient. So the resilience is the end. And we need to change the way that people think. And that's why this kind of event is very important in terms of we can change ideas, we can network, and bring innovation for the people here thinking out of the box. The engagement of citizens is key issue for us to change. And there are few initiatives here. When the city, for example, of Miami, develop a new website where you can access all the information, you can get some kind of, at least knowledge. Doesn't mean that you participate in the decision process. The Miami-Dade County is doing the same. We are, let's say, in the middle of a process that we can engage and empower citizens. And we need to do this to grow and to have the best result for us as a citizens. When we talk today about technology, and technology is just a tool, because, in fact, we, as a human being, we need to do different things. But when we talk about technology, today, and this is from the last 2 years, cities starting to create what they call digital twins. What is this? They replicate the physical infrastructure of the city in a virtual environment. With this, you can have more control. You can understand better how the things work. And then you can, for example, do maintenance. You can have more information for the technical support and everything. Digital twins. So this is, let's say, the middle of the process in terms of technology. The challenge with the digital twins that they replicate what the city has now. It doesn't mean that is the best, and usually it's not the best. It's something that, let's say, if you build something that is not correct, you are going to replicate something wrong. And this is happening in plenty of cities worldwide. Well, what we need to do? We need to design a smart city together. And to design a smart city together, it's very important to have the support, engagement of the citizens, because the city is for citizens, it's not for politicians. We have challenges in this moment, and we, as citizens, we need to participate. We need to vote. We need to vote, go and ask the politician to do something for us. For example, I live in Aventura. There was an election last month. I vote for a commissioner. But before I vote, I met her and said to her, listen, Aventura used to be a very nice place. Not a lot of cars, not a lot of buildings. Now is a jam. You cannot drive, it's terrible. A lot of constructions and everything. So I told her, listen, I was in Aventura Mall, and 5 teenagers, they came by bicycle to the Aventura Mall. When they went to the garage, there is no parking for bicycle. Suddenly came the police. First came the security for the mall, and then the Aventura police. And they said, listen, you cannot come here. And they write, I watch, a ticket for these teenagers. What's unbelievable. But that's the way thing. So I went to this commissioner before the election and said, listen, this happened. We needed to create a different way to, for example, a shopping mall. They need to have a parking for bicycle. It's a big parking space. And she said, okay, bon, she was elected. Next week, I went in her office and said, listen, we talked before, I vote for you. Now, let's act. Let's create a group of citizens and let's change things here, okay? Another thing is, the path for bicycles, usually, they start and they finish suddenly, and you cannot use the bicycle. If you go to 163rd and go north in Biscayne, start and suddenly stop. And there is a sign. The bicycle path stop here. Well, so we need to think in different ways. To do that, we need to have today, with the technology, what we call phygital experiences. So it's the physical with the digital. So we can combine this to create a new kind of environment, a new kind of thinking. In this way, we can create a new solutions, a new perspectives, a new way to do things. And we are in this process when we talk about cities and buildings. Then we come with meta-cities. So we are talking about cities, we are talking about the digital, and we are talking about meta-cities. In this we can discuss about what in a sense is a city, how technicians, how the people, how the citizens can come with ideas to develop a new environment, a new solution, a new proposal for the city, okay? So with the new cities, new meta-cities, we can have a consumer metaverse, enterprise metaverse, or industrial metaverse. In this way, we can cover the whole spectrum when we are talking about using the technology for innovation. And if we have the input from different parts, politicians, citizens, technicians, and everything, we can create something new, different, and we can dialogue, we can work together in this environment, okay? So when we talk about cities or metaverse, or we have, in fact, 2 cities, or we have just 1 city. What I'm seeing in terms of practical things, that the people are creating something different, something new, has not to do with the real cities. So how we bring this to the reality, how we build a new cities. Well, and to finalize, I have a quote here for you guys. If you plan cities for cars and traffic, you get cars and traffic. But if you plan for people and places, you get people in places. So that's why we need to change our thinking. And to do this, we need to fight with the industry. That today you have the oil, the cars, let's say, people building roads, bridges, and everything. There is a new concept of a 15-minute city, that in 15 minutes you can do everything. You can move from your home to the supermarket, you can go to school, you can go to work in 15 minutes, walking or by bicycle. Here in US, it's very difficult to do that. But in Europe, they are doing that, okay? Thank you very much. Nice talk with you. Bye.